It's time!
Welcome back to the L&G UFC show. We apologise that we didn't do a video cast for the last main event, but George got the shits at losing both fights last time and we had to take a slight hiatus. So George, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the last fight that we bet on.
No, I mean, I started off well. Both fighters just bitched out on me, right? I mean, I feel like I did well. There's no evidence of me, being a loser or anything like that, so I feel like, yeah, let's move on.
So how much are you down now?
$40.
Great, okay, wonderful. Let's move on.
All right.
So the UFC community were pretty disappointed, I think, when Aldo had to pull out of UFC 189 against McGregor because of a broken rib. I personally felt a little bit sorry for Dana White because he spent a lot of time and a lot of energy on building the aggression between those two fighters.
Flying them around the world, talking shit. Yeah.
But Mendes and McGregor are not unfamiliar with trash talk, right?
That's true. As McGregor put it really well, Mendes is a short ass.
I could rest my balls on your forehead.
Yeah. Well, McGregor does have significantly more reach than Mendes, but what else do you think is going to play a part in the fight next weekend?
Well, wrestling. Wrestling is going to be a major factor, right? Aldo doesn't, he's got great takedown defense, but he doesn't use any of the ground stuff as much as Mendes does. He is a wrestler, he'll push forward, he'll come in
and we might see the final answer to the biggest question at the moment. What will McGregor do when he's on the ground?
Yes, or if Mendes can get him on the ground, right? What we saw against Siva was really good takedown defense.
Yeah.
It was against Siva, as you put it, Mr. Cardboard.
Piece of cardboard. But McGregor, a good strategy for him will be to make Mendes pay every time he comes in and every time he goes out.
He's got two chances, right? On the way in and on the way out, the shorter guy can get clipped both times, so he needs to make him pay. Keep the fight standing. I think everyone thinks of McGregor, he thinks of a stand-up fighter.
Yeah.
He needs to keep the fight standing, and for him to use that flag, he needs distance.
Yeah, and Mendes can probably reduce some of that distance or some of that flair by focusing on some leg kicks.
Yes.
Taking out that front leg as much as possible. He's got a really wide stance,
that's
so that
true,
works
that's true.
for that.
And Mendes can also use that to take McGregor down, right?
Yeah.
Because a perfect single leg right there every time. It's very wide. He may be able to capitalize on that.
Great, and McGregor doesn't generally fight someone of the caliber of Mendes. No. We talk about him needing to be pressured and pushed, and this is probably the best opportunity.
That's right, yes.
McGregor generally fights people who waste a lot of their punches and kicks, and Mendes doesn't.
Yes, he's stepping up to the next tier of fighters, and this is what we're going to see. Mendes is really good at power punching and not wasting anything. So for McGregor to be able to counter punch, he's going to have to work a lot harder to be able to get away with it.
Yeah, and Mendes has also fought 5 rounds, and he's fought Aldo, and it was a close fight.
Yes.
So I think it's a really big test.
Yes.
The 2-week preparation, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yes.
We know that the guys in Alpha Male, they are always at a really peak level of fitness, and also that McGregor hasn't been prepping for someone with wrestling as a really key skill area.
Yes. So they might be both at a disadvantage enough to make the fight even, but I do believe that Mendes with a 2-week push-in is going to be harder for him.
But let's be honest, neither of them have anything to lose, because if Mendes does lose, he can say I only had 2 weeks, and if McGregor loses, he can say I only had 2 weeks, so it's perfect.
True. That's true.
Perfect.
Alright guys, our second fight for the night is also a title shot. It's going to be Mickey D's versus the Thump.
AKA McDonald versus Lawler.
All those. Right, yeah, so look, the interesting part about that is they actually fought each other before.
Yeah.
And it was a very close fight. Both of them thought they won the fight, and it is realistically that they both could have gone either way.
Yeah. I just have a personal opinion I'd like to express about McDonald before
Bring
we
it.
continue.
Bring it on.
I think McDonald is an exceptional fighter. He's really strategic. He's very clever. You can see he's really sussing out the other fighter, and he doesn't waste any of his energy and he uses distances really well, but by gosh, he is so unbelievably boring. That guy has no killer instinct in him at all. He fights for points, he never fights to finish, and it really frustrates me. However, that said, Lawler does bring out the best in McDonald. You know, Lawler really pushes McDonald and we start seeing a little bit more aggression from him and a little bit more desperation.
Fights back, that's correct.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a good fight. But anyway, what do you think? What will you expect of the fight next week?
I expect a boring ass fight.
I know!
Yes. Look, Lawler hasn't had a good fight in the last, 3 or 4 fights just because he coasted every time.
Yeah.
McDonald is trained to coast.
Yeah.
The whole thing is like, right, I'm there for 3 rounds, just going to jab him a couple of times just to get that extra point on top of him, and I'm going to win. So if they both do that, it's going to be the most boring fight in the history of MMA. But you don't believe that's going to be the case?
No, I don't. Well, I see, because I see Lawler as a fighter that he fights close and dirty. You know, he needs to get in there, so I think that changes the fight altogether. They're very different fighting styles. McDonald needs a lot of distance in order to pace himself and slowly take advantage of situations. So I think it's quite different. Also, Lawler's very instinctual. He takes a lot of risks. And he has those real 10-second kind of flurries that go crazy.
Yes. Could happen anytime. That could happen at the first round, then you wait the 4 rounds, and it'll be right at the end of the 5th round.
At 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, save it. Save it. Yeah.
So if McDonald wants to win.
Look, if McDonald wants to win, I feel like you should take this one. You love McDonald.
Okay, if McDonald wants to win, McDonald, you need to change your game plan. You need to go in to destroy Lawler. You need to finish it before the 5th round because you cannot do this any longer. What about Lawler?
Lawler needs to do more than punch people, right? He actually needs to bring the whole MMA game. He hasn't actually kicked anybody in the head for a while, and he's got brilliant setups for that, right? So just take somebody down, do something different, and just pop a whole bunch of punches, smile back at them, and then land a couple back.
So you've heard it from L&G. McDonald, if you could try and kill Lawler, and Lawler, if you could kick someone in the head, we might have a really good fight.
Alright, now it's Layla's turn to bet, and it's a double, so maybe I get some money back. Do it.
Okay, so I have a really big rule, which is generally reach wins. So I'm going to go for McGregor against Mendez.
Yeah, okay. Yes, it's good.
For 10.
Yes.
And I'm going to go for McDonald versus Lawler for another 10.
I agree with that one. Alright, guys, I might get one here. Alright, look, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.